through the Ustream app, the Ustream.tv. Search Build and Destroy Radio, and you will catch the hottest team in talk radio assembled in the Lemon Drop Lounge to give you another rip-rousing version of the number one talk show in West Philly, Build and Destroy Radio. Music director Mark Bennett doing what he do. The mustard-clad Derek Adger doing what he do. And I'm David Hanna doing what I do. Welcome everybody to Build and Destroy Radio. We invite you to give us a call on the Build and Destroy hotline, 215-472-0882, or drop us a comment or like us on Facebook. Go to Mark Bennett's page, go to Derek Adger's page, or go to David Hanna or the Build and Destroy fan page and drop us a line on any of the topics we're about to talk about this evening. Let's dive right in it, why don't we, fellas? First of all, I want to wish a belated happy birthday to the king of pop, Michael Jackson. He would have been 57 years old yesterday. Heard DJ Mr. C drop a tremendous mix up in New York, and salute to Michael Jackson. It got me going. I put one glove on and danced in front of my PC real quick, and then I sat down because I thought somebody saw me. Hey, Mark.
What's up, D?
Hey, Derek.
Hey, D. Governor.
Important news off the top. Want to say I'm very, I give my condolences to all the Minnesota Vikings fans out there. Found out a couple, about an hour or so ago before we went on air that starting QB and all-around good guy Teddy Bridgewater went down for devastating knee injury, non-contact football injury at the Vikings training facility as they were practicing. You know, we're all staunch and avid NFL fans, so I'm going to drop that down to anybody else out there. Teddy Bridgewater will most likely be gone for the season. They're doing MRIs. They had to sedate him to take a look at the knee. So that tells you the kind of discomfort and pain that he was in with the injury. So these are things that happen in the NFL. You know what it's about in the NFL, Derek. Next man up. Staying healthy. What's the best ability, Derek, in the NFL?
Reliability.
Availability. You know what I mean? If you go down and you can't make the squad in the hot tub. That's all that says.
True.
So again, we want to welcome the audience to check us out. We do this thing every Tuesday from 7 to 9. This is the Build and Destroy Experience. About to come to you 3 nights a week, starting in September. We'd like to promote that starting now, hot and heavy. If you look on social media, you'll see a little promo video. You'll see some promo photos of the fellas promoting 3 times. Yeah, that's the campaign. That's the movement right now. 3 times dope. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Build Destroy Radio will be live and direct through various apps and stations. Big Bad Radio, of course, our home of homes, WPEV, on Tuesdays, same time. And Breaking Chains Radio will be our other homes 3 nights a week. So look through social media, check your inbox, check your DMs and all that good stuff, because you'll be seeing promotional materials for the new movement. 3 times dope, Build and Destroy Radio coming at you. But fellas, I want to talk about our hot button topic off the top. Mark, you ready to talk about this?
I'm ready to talk about anything, man.
Let's talk, man.
Everything.
Listen, this Colin Kaepernick thing has kind of got a life of its own right now. If those that don't know, Colin Kaepernick, quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, took a conscientious stand and chose to make his time on the bench mean something. He was usurped as the starting quarterback for the 49ers by one Blaine Gabbert. Kaepernick, fighting for a roster spot on the team, has been relegated to the number 2 spot. So he said, hey, you know what? There's a lot of ills in the community. Since I'm on the bench, why don't I make the bench mean something? He has chosen not to stand for the national anthem in protest and in demonstration of the state of relations between law enforcement and the black and people of color communities.
Yes.
He's made a stand. He chose to use that platform that he has to bring light to all of the things that we unfortunately have to talk about every week. Question is this. I'll go to you first, Derek, since you share a similar hairdo with Colin Kaepernick right
We
now.
share the same fraternity.
And same Fred.
Brethren.
You want to shout him out?
In same division,
Yes, and same division.
Oh, I got you.
same complexion.
Same complexion. Matter of fact, they're from the same tribe. They look like they could be from.
Could be brothers from another mother.
Ash Money does look like he could be a Kaepernick from way back when.
Right.
So, Derek, what say you about this hot button topic?
Man, it's upsetting to an extent because he certainly has a right to speak his mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the vitriol that he's getting and the over-the-top displays, it's a bit much. Man. I like people to be able to speak their mind in this country, whether you disagree or agree.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like people are using the unsteady times right now to be extra visceral with it and extra malicious.
I call it a racist come to the top of the pot.
Yeah, you have
Anytime
a reason,
something
right?
like this happens.
You really have a reason now with things being as pronounced as they are. I guess to make a stand and give your opinion, and I think that's just what he's doing. He's giving his opinion. I don't necessarily agree with it because I see him as someone as a beneficiary of a billion-dollar business, and he's quite well off, and a lot of it has to do with his place in America, his place in this country, which he's allowed to make a living. The people that have fought to provide him with that opportunity to play football for a living. So while I applaud him as being taking what Dwayne Wade and Bron, what them says, and being like among one of the first athletes to actually do something, where people where the ESPYs are, everybody talking about we got to do something. Well, Cap's actually doing something and taking a stand for himself.
Yes.
I do applaud that. I just think he could have possibly. He's on a real tenuous situation right now with his place in the league, his place in the team, his money. I think he's making a big mistake from that standpoint. He's messing his money up. I think he's messing his brand up too.
And that's all the more reason why I kind of applaud the brother for taking the stance he took.
I do applaud him, David. Don't get me wrong. I do
Right.
applaud him.
Now, with
I
everything
don't disagree with him not taking a stand.
Right. So with everything that you just said, with all that being said, that has not a damn thing to do with what his stand is. Just to be blunt about it. And people have a tendency, I guess it's human nature, to kind of convolute and pile on with a bunch of things when someone does something like this.
Right.
But the money he makes, his standing in the NFL, his current state of play for the 49ers doesn't have anything to do with, in my mind, with what he's taking a stand for and the reasons why he did what he did. Let me read a statement real quick, and then Mark, I'm going to get your viewpoint on it. Kaepernick explained his stance during an interview with NFL.com. I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color, he said after the game last weekend. To me, this is bigger than football, and it will be selfish on my part to look the other way. There are bodies in the street and people getting paid, leave, and getting away with murder. Snoop, your thoughts?
I agree with you both, but I think that what Derek said does have something to do with
Absolutely,
his stand.
Snoop.
Because if he was playing for Central High School and did the same thing, it would be a
You don't think that exactly?
So his place in the league, his money, all that has afforded him the opportunity to make a stand and have his stand be heard.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to tie the relevancy into that.
Gotcha.
I mean, I understand the crux of what you're saying is that it's kind of separate issues, but you can't take the water from the wet. Like you have to intermingle those two. I think it's a bold move. I think he calculated it. I think he thought it through. It's a report out that he actually did research on statistics and numbers to make sure that he, just wasn't doing something arbitrarily just to, draw attention or whatever. The other thing that people are forgetting to mention is his coach, who came under scrutiny from players that he let go, saying that, he let go all the good black players. So for you to come out and do that with the coach that you have, we don't know Chip Kelly's theory on race from a hill of beans, but for that to have been out there some time ago.
I think that's interesting you bring that up, and I want to ask you this question. We're talking about Chip Kelly, former coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, current coaches the San Francisco 49ers. We know what Chip Kelly's rather checkered past has been in regards to making some controversial decisions on player personnel moves that have been affected by things that are associated with what's going on in the community. Okay, so let me ask you this. Because of his checkered past and how our eyes are going to be on Chip Kelly and the 49ers on how they're going to handle this, did Colin Kaepernick pretty much assure himself a roster spot? Because if they can't really afford to cut him after what you just stated about how Chip Kelly handled the last
Sure they can, David.
Travis Sham mockery that happened here in Philly. You think he can?
Because his issue. I mean, they can cut him. There's enough there, evidence-wise, to cut him strictly from a football standpoint.
I think that
he got beat out by Blaine.
Well, you just talked about. You're kind of contradicting yourself. You just talked about how all these things are tied together. So
what's tied together?
Well, you can't how I forget how Snoop just put it, but he eloquently said the water is wet.
But that's from San Fran's standpoint. My thing with Cap was you still have to be wary of your place in the league. You by all means, nobody's saying you have to be quiet on the matter, but you're walking a very fine line with your place in the league. You're close to being out the league entirely, bro. You're close to not having a job at all. So things like that, what I think what Snoop was saying and what I agree with is those sort of moves can give a team reason to let you go. There'll be a certain segment of society that'll question that. I don't think it should either, David, but at this standpoint, with that coupled with Cap's play and him getting beaten out benched last year and beaten out this year, they have enough to strictly release him and say it doesn't have anything to do with what he said. Because they already came out and said he's afforded his right to say what he wants to say. We're not going to punish him. They didn't punish him. They didn't fine him. So if they let him go, if he had said nothing and they let him go, there'd be no uproar. But now because he said something, it is tied in. It is tied in. So like Snoop goes back to Snoop's point, because it can be either from Frisco side or Cap side. But my thing is, they have enough to do it, and I think the uproar will be minimal because from the majority, especially San Francisco 49ers fans, at the end of the day, this their football team. They're concerned about the moves Chip Kelly is making. Whether Cap is going to stand up for the national anthem is secondary to what Niners fans expect from the team this year. So if you're letting Cap go and you say it's a football decision, they're going to have to ride with that. There'll be people outside of San Fran like us and a good portion of Black America that will question the move. But at the end of the day, they have enough evidence to say it's a football move.
That's the problem.
That's
the extra heat.
The scrutiny that's going to come down.
That's my problem. That's my issue with Cap.
But the scrutiny of him being let go, whether it's warranted or not, the media, everybody's going to be in the uproar. Jim Brown's already weighed in. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has already weighed in. All the famous athletes that are activists are starting to weigh in on this. So for him to be let go, if you flip it, this is why everybody always confuses civil rights as far as race with the homosexual act. If that was a homosexual thing, and then all of a sudden you let him go, oh, it's because he's gay. Oh, it's because he did the black thing. Whether it's real or not, it's going to come. And that's why I brought up Chip Kelly, because he has a questionable. There's a question next to his name when it comes to race relations. Deshaun Jackson, McCoy, these guys made accusations. He refuted it, blah, blah, blah. But that question's always out there. So it's just like, then if Cap gets let go, and then everybody comes and he says, well, Chip Kelly is racist, or we already knew that. It's just a distraction of the
Yeah,
team.
But you know what? I'll
It's
say
just
one
a-
other
it's
thing
just a
though.
distraction
One
to
other
the
thing though
team.
that kind of I guess ties my point in where I'm coming from. At the end of the day,
If
you
he's
guys make a
garbage,
point because Cap's good enough to make a team. He's not garbage.
Did he play-
So
he played
if,
the
if Chip,
third
I mean, if he's second string or he's backing up Blaine Gabbert,
he played the
he's
third.
not bad enough to be
Gabbert
flat
did.
out
He
let
did.
go.
He did. I
He's
didn't say
played a little.
He
He
didn't play
played
that
this
well.
last
play well.
Thursday.
But here's the thing.
He's good enough to not just be flat out let go.
I got you.
He
But
just took a team to the
ag-
NFC Championship, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
You know what, Ags? My whole thing is this: like, you're talking roster decisions. He's talking about real life, and that's the point I'm trying to make. I understand that all this is tied together. He has a unique platform to speak on things because of his stage that the NFL provides him and the San Francisco 49ers provide him. But that's not that is the point. That's why, like you said, if he played for St. Gabby's at 56 and Christian, no one would, he wouldn't have that stage. But he does have that stage. And that's why he chose to make that point. And my whole thing is this, like, the stuff you're talking about, roster moves, this, that, and the other, that part of it has nothing to do with the stand he took. Because he saw injustices
He may
going
have.
on that he disagreed with.
He may have
And
got himself a spot.
Yeah, I think he got himself a spot, but I don't even want to talk about that. From Colin Kaepernick's viewpoint, he saw injustices being done, and he just morally, in his heart, could not see himself standing and paying homage to the flag and the national anthem, something that affords him the ability to do that because of the sacrifices that our military has made, that certain people have made. That's why it's his inherent right as an American citizen to protest and show displeasure. He didn't do it disrespectfully. He did not do it out of pocket.
That can be
He
left
sat.
to interpretation.
Now here's the other
But he didn't
part.
do it disrespectfully.
Well, here's the other part.
Because
Some
if he did it
people-
disrespectfully,
Well,
you would say,
well,
You're not gonna say
here's
that.
the other point I want to make. Now, the other part of that is a lot of people that have served in the military have given service to this country. People have died for this country. A lot of people see that as the main reason why you stand to pay respect and understand the liberties that you have because of the sacrifices that these men and women have made. But again, his point was not to disrespect the military. His point is to bring light to the problems that come in our country as a result of the injustices that are going on.
And that's why.
And I think people, like I said, it's human nature for people to pile on and take a bunch of things that don't have anything to do with it and make one point. He wasn't trying to disrespect the military.
But you have
He
to-
respects the military. So, and I understand if they make that point,
You
that's
have to-
their right,
but
just
you-
like it's his right.
But David, you have to realize what was going on at the time was there was a military ceremony at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
With,
What was that for?
It was to honor the military. There was
Right.
some vets there that came back from serving somewhere.
Mhm.
They were presented like a game ball.
Did he stand for that? Did he pay? Did he
He
give
sat
it
for the whole thing.
respect?
He sat on the bench several
Or did he just sit? I need to know.
I
Did
think he
he,
sat
don't
separate
know.
the whole time.
that's what you
don't
don't
know.
know. Because one thing again
It-
doesn't have anything to do with the other.
And I don't think he was looking to disrespect the military.
Right.
But in light of what was going on, you're cutting a hair. It's so close because
Which is
it's
why you
tied-
can understand
because
why
it's
people
tied
get
in.
rubbed the
It's
wrong
tied
way.
in with the military because they were having a ceremony for the military, and then it was the national anthem.
Well,
so
see,
it was,
we
it was all kinda
don't
combined.
know what he
I
did
don't
during
think
that portion.
I know for a fact he
But-
was not.
but I know
He
this
said as
person-
much. He said
and
as
He
much.
wasn't trying to
He said as
disrespect
much.
the
He said
military.
as
No,
much.
he was not
He
trying
said
to
as
say.
much that he was not.
And to that fact, he sat in other games and nobody noticed it. He sat before this in the other two games.
First time.
Okay.
It just people brought it to light because they saw it maybe because of that ceremony, whatever, and they brought it to to the light. But he had been sitting the whole preseason, and people just didn't see it. So I don't think that had anything to do with it. But again, people stand and place their hand over their heart because it means a lot of different things. But basically, what it comes down to is that his opinion, your opinion, Derek's opinion, everybody is allowed to have an opinion in this country because of that. And Colin Kaepernick is allowed to have an opinion. And the third and final point I want to make is the thing that really makes my stomach turn and disgusts me about this, whenever this comes out, and we talked about this before the show, is that the yellow belly cretins that crawl underneath their racist rocks come out when this kind of thing is, and there's certain call language that I'm finding, and the code that they're speaking, they hide behind this whole military thing. That's the code for saying, nigga, you better be happy you making $100 million, and you need to shut the F up and just be happy you're making that money, that we allow you to make this money. And you need to shut up and just play football, because that's all you're good for. That's the code. But they hide behind the military clout. He's disrespecting the military. He's doing this. I have an uncle and a grandparent. And that's a legitimate thing if it's said legitimately. But when you're using it as code to hide your racist agenda, that's when I have a problem.
If that's their code, I was gonna say it's an inherent mixoplex.
Mm-hmm.
Because our country and that flag and everything that it does affords us so many rights, so many opportunities. It's still the greatest nation on this planet.
And that's why I understand. That's why I disagree with Cat to that level. Yes,
and it's still, and so when you take the liberties that it has given you, but you. It's not an abuse because
he just exercised it. It's not an abuse.
But it's such a dichotomy in and of itself. It's such an inherent. It's almost a flaw. It's almost like doing something good to a fault, because you have these rights, you have these privileges.
It's a positive negative.
You know. People complain about taxes. Well, if you didn't pay your taxes, no one will pick up your trash. If you didn't pay your taxes, no one would come when you call 911. If you didn't pay so it's one of those.
That's why you just gotta respect. You have to respect everyone's opinion on this. I can understand why military people get rubbed the wrong way. But I understand why Colin Kaepernick's doing what he's doing.
As one that has donned the uniform and taken the oath, it's not always the camouflage to hide behind something. People feel strongly about that. When you sign up and you.
But you can hear it though.
It's camouflage. Camouflage is that people that use that argument.
You can hear it.
They find reason to come out.
You know when their agenda is other than
you can absolutely tell
the military service.
That's why.
All you gotta do is listen to sports radio for a day, and you can pick them out one by one. You can hear it.
But I think there are some that are sincere.
When I hear, I'll tell you who's sincere.
There are some that are sincere as well.
I heard the offensive tackle for the Steelers, Villanueva, who the Eagles had for a short time. When he spoke, he was sincere about it. You know what I mean? About his military. Yeah, he said he respected his stance, but that means, for him, it means too much in regards to the service that he gave and that his family gave, and that's why he stands and he would never, short that.
But that's
because
why
of that. So you understand it. But then when Joe from Tacony calls in, and comes with the bull-ish, you can read straight through that. That's what I'm talking about.
Guess what? It's a race issue.
But again,
it's going to be tense. It's going to be tense.
But this is what makes this country great. That we can even have discussion. Because if we had this discussion in Tehran or Uzbekistan, we'd be in a dark, damp cell somewhere, about to be brought to trial for treason. That's what makes America the greatest country on this planet. Because we can have this discussion.
I'll stick by the guns that you have to keep in context what was going on. Like you said, the other games.
I don't think that had anything to do with it.
The other games that he sat through.
Yeah, he sat through 3 other games that, just because they had a military ceremony, that's not why people went off.
I think you're being insensitive to that.
I'm not being insensitive to it.
Because you're just dismissing it. I'm
just saying that he did it for 3 games and nobody noticed till that game. It just so happens that there was a ceremony.
Right. So when you have a ceremony and you're honoring fallen vets or whatever they were doing, and then it's brought to light before people gather information, you gotta imagine somebody in the crowd that's lost a husband, somebody in the crowd that's lost a father,
Understood.
and they're very emotional about that,
Understood.
and they're paying the utmost respect at that time.
I totally sympathize with what they're
and then
doing. Right.
this guy's like, wow, and it's like, and I agree, and I with my whole heart believe that he was not there to disrespect
It's
the
not
military.
but I understand what you're saying.
But
It's similar like you
yeah.
prepare a dissertation
Yeah.
in school, and you put your all into this dissertation, and you go to give it, and you look throughout the crowd. There's one person asleep. You want to kick his chair like, hey,
Exactly.
like I worked hard on this. You need to listen to what I'm saying. So I see where you're going with it, and I totally agree with you. I totally agree. So, in a nutshell, are we building and destroying what Colin Kaepernick
Absolutely
did?
building.
Is that a build or
I'm
destroy?
building.
I build.
I don't like the way he's going about it, but I'm
Right.
building.
You will build.
Because I believe he has a right to say what he
He
wants to
has a
say.
right.
I'm just saying,
Right.
look at it like, dude, I'm a proud American. We just said something about the flag and everything, and you having fought for the country. I'm as proud an American as it can be. But at the end of the day, I know that there are ills in this country that I can't stand.
Yeah.
And I hate about our government and
Indeed.
what it represents. And even
Indeed.
sometimes the military.
Right.
Sometimes the unnecessary show of force, and sometimes the braggadociousness that comes with people who have served and their sense of entitlement. I'm a veteran. And then, like you said, Jay, sometimes it can be overbearing. Because you're a veteran, you have the right to tell people you got to stand up. One quick thing, Alex Boone, who used to play on the offensive line with
San
Cap.
Francisco.
Yeah, he says, if I'd have known that, we'd have locked him. We would have a problem. So you say you're going to give this war a fair one? You want to attempt to fight him because he's just making his point.
Because
I understand you're
because
angry,
he's exercising a right.
Right, he's exercising his right.
That's what also that whole thing stands for. And the final point is, Colin Kaepernick's angle is the injustices that are going on with people of color and blacks.
And
Last I
because he said that,
Yeah.
that's where people start
Yeah.
drawing those
That's what-
unnecessary racial
exactly.
lines, and the ugliness comes out because he correlates it to not to Black Lives
Right.
Matter per se,
Right.
but the
But it
focus
is.
on what we have right now.
It
with
is.
cops killing people.
It's
when
no
you bring it to
different-
that, that's what it's.
It's no different from what John Carlos and what's his name did in the '68 Olympics.
Right.
That was Black Lives Matter 1.0.
Absolutely.
When they put the
Absolutely.
black gloves
Yes.
on and raised their fists,
Absolutely.
people took offense
Absolutely.
to that
Absolutely.
and thought it was un-American. They were unpatriotic, this, that, and the other. The same kind of things that are being thrown at Colin Kaepernick.
You're lucky
But the last,
you run up in this country. Shut up
right.
and run.
At last I checked, man, plenty of people of color and blacks sacrificed their lives just like white military
Exactly.
did
Exactly.
for the rights that Colin Kaepernick exercised. So I'll be damned if somebody's gonna tell me he's unpatriotic just because he decided to sit and bring light to the current state of things in this country.
Absolutely.
He's just as patriotic, if not more, than anybody else. He put his thing on the line
Yeah.
for what have you done,
I agree.
Joe from Frankfurt?
And then, but
Snoop, you're destroying.
Okay, Snoop, you're
I'm not destroying.
You're torn,
I'm
Snoop.
under construction.
You're under construction. I like it. I like it, brother.
I don't
You're
know.
under construction.
I don't know.
We've
That's a
created a
viable
new.
option.
Because
We created a new option
Okay.
under construction. I
because
like it.
these rights
I like it.
and privileges
Uh-huh.
with anything else can be perverted.
Speak on it,
Because
son.
you have the right to be a Ku Klux Klan member,
Right.
and we hate them.
Of
I
course.
don't like them.
That's the
I
other side.
have no love for them at all.
Yes,
and
sir.
but they have the right to do that. They have the right to stand in the woods and burn a cross, not on someone's lawn, or not to hurt people or kill people. But they have a right to voice their opinion about white supremacy.
Absolutely. I'm
So
fine with
yeah, exactly. So these rights and privileges that are so afforded to us.
You're right.
That's why we talked about before. There's the spirit of the law and there's the letter of the law.
Right, there you
The
go.
letter of the law was not created that you can do things, and not that Kaepernick is out of hate or whatever, but it's divisive. Like Jerry, I don't know if you guys saw Jerry Rice chimed in on it.
No, I did
And
not.
Jerry Rice basically destroyed, and he was just like, dude, you had a right to do that. He was like, well, come on,
Rodney Harrison's a clown. You talk about what Jerry
What did
Rice
Rodney
said.
Harrison say?
Rodney Harrison stepped in and said Kaepernick. He questioned Kaepernick's blackness and being able to take a stance like that. And then
Rodney Harrison's a
he got reprimanded. He poured so much heat for that dumb ignorant
As far as
statement.
his parents.
Yeah, he said. Yeah, he questioned his background. He said, "Yo, my man, you don't even know what being black is. This, that, and the other." he quickly had to do a prompt about face.
Right.
Excuse the play on words, Mark. Thank you for your service. And he had to turn around and retract what he said and say, I didn't mean it like that. Well, you did, because you're an idiot. And that's part of the problem, is that crab barrelness and coming at people, you know, in our own community, instead of lift them up and stand. You may disagree, but there's a better way to say it, Rodney
Absolutely,
Harrison.
absolutely.
So he gets a definite destroy for his comment.
Sure.
Jerry Rice, is it under construction? Is it a bill for what he said, Steve?
Jerry Rice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't lend any credence to it. It was just,
Okay.
it was, I saw some comments against
Mm-hmm.
from athletes and some comments for what he did
Right.
from athletes. And then I noticed this guy on the Eagles
Mm-hmm.
said
Let's
he
get
was
ready-
going to
he's gonna
do
sit
it.
down.
Oh,
And
his,
You don't even get a job yet,
and
bro.
he retracted for what she said.
His agent told him to sit down.
And you
boy.
might
Yo.
want to
His
eat that,
agent,
man.
his
Yo.
agent said,
Got him a whole
listen
look,
here,
son.
boy.
Let me
His
tell you
agent
something.
called him a boy.
He
Shut up,
he
boy.
stood up at the joint with the Eagles backdrop with the hang. Yeah, and I stand by my brother Colin Kaepernick. In Thursday's game, I will sit as well. His agent said, psst. Tell him you're gonna do whatever the Eagles tell you to do, Tony. He came back 10 minutes later.
I know. I don't want to be a distraction.
I simply was saying that I might have agreed with him at one point, but I don't want to be a distraction. I love my job with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'd like to stay into the fall.
He got
No,
dollars
thank
in the
you.
first.
You know how much
Even
money,
if you're gonna Wawa
Eagles,
Huggies,
Eagles, exactly.
you know how much money I can make on the practice squad?
Exactly. Yo, look,
I can eat well on the
his
practice squad.
agent reminded him
At
of
least
all
do
that,
that.
and said, "Listen, you might want to rethink that. Hey, Stokely Carmichael, you might want to think about that before you go. Nobody likes an
Put on your
unemployed
black
rebel.
glove.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
the end is that when you you're just always going to be divisive, man. Unfortunately,
It
it's always
is.
going to be divisive.
But
I
then-
mean,
but
there's been a lot of white people that have come out, and the most poignant thing I've heard was from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Mhm.
and he said how Muhammad Ali was sat down for his civil rights actions,
Right, right.
and
And
so
he was
forth
called
and
the
so
same
on.
thing.
And then he said it's not so much that Colin Kaepernick was offensive, which you can make your own judgment on that.
Mhm.
The offensive thing is that that was 60 years ago almost, and we're still
Nothing
dealing
has
with the
changed.
same
We're
issue.
still dealing with the
And
same
and so
things.
everyone's harping on him
Yes.
sitting down, or someone in the Olympics not putting their hand over their heart, or whatever. But we
Right.
still are dealing with the same issues. That's the bigger picture.
And you have a nerve, and you call them unpatriotic. That's to me.
That goes. When you say unpatriotic, clearly you're 100% right.
Right.
That's code for
That's code.
N-word. Stay in your place.
Mhm.
You're unpatriotic. So, because but yet still, and I hadn't known that Phelps and his boys were yucking it up. And
Exactly. Here we
I didn't
go
know
with
that.
that again.
I
Here we
found
go.
that to be
Which-
odd.
which
When
one?
when they were playing the national anthem,
Yeah.
and Phelps was in the line with his boys, and they was all laughing, and they did
Yeah.
the Baltimore O's joint. But at a certain point, because he's from Baltimore, so at Orioles games, there's a certain part of the national anthem where they say O's. They make and him and his boys and laugh, and then they laughed
Right.
as the national anthem was going. They did their O's joint,
Right.
so they chopping it up, yucking it up, and nobody says anything, yo. But one sister, she doesn't put her
didn't
hand over her heart, but she's
Exactly.
standing attention,
Right.
and then she gets eviscerated.
Exactly.
Come on, David, it's
Exactly.
clear
There's
code,
the
like you
hypocrisy.
said. Be
There's
thankful
There's
for
the
what you got.
hypocrisy and the double standard.
How dare you?
And
You don't even think we gave you this opportunity.
unless we forget, we forgot the most important comment, which came from one Donald J. Trump, who urged Mr. Kaepernick to find another country
Ooh.
if he doesn't like the national anthem.
Oh, wow.
That's spoken so articulate,
Oh, that's everything he
so
always says. it.
so insightful what he has to say. What jeez. So moving right along, man. So, all right, so that whole thing, racially charged. A lot of things we talk about are racially charged. Another racially charged thing came up on sports radio last week, Mark, in the form of a caller that was dear and near to both you and my sports radio hearts. Derek wasn't as up
I
on
wasn't
it
as up on
because
it.
you're toiling away. at your 9 to 5.
Absolutely, right.
Doing
I don't
your
get to
thing.
listen to much sports radio.
Yes.
But when I do, it's Arizona 98.5. Over the Arizona Cardinals. That's me. Duggan Wolf, shout out. B-Train off the edge, shout out.
Well, this particular caller is not on Arizona 98 point whatever.
Yes.
We're talking about a caller who was a frequent contributor to the Fanatic, particularly Mike Missinelli's show. The caller went by the name of Dwayne from Swedesboro.
Yeah.
He was a favorite. I really dug Dwayne from Swedesboro. He had me in tears many times when he would call.
Wow.
With his his stories about cavorting through South Jersey on his Vespa, his blonde-haired girlfriends, and his exploits with the ladies over the weekend, and this, that, and the other. Dwayne from Swedesboro is a character. In
They
more
actually
ways
showed a
than one.
picture of him, of a guy though, right?
And
that was supposed to be
I'll
him?
get to that in a minute,
Okay.
who that really was.
Okay.
But yeah, they did a picture to match the voice. And he looked like he could be Dwayne from
Right.
Swedesboro. Well, over the past week or so, Mark, am I right? Week and a half or so ago, it turns out that Dwayne from Swedesboro was a fictitious character created by one of Mike Missinelli's show producers. A little white guy created this character, unbeknownst to Mike Missinelli. And it brought interesting discussion in the coming days and weeks after it was, Dwayne from Swedesboro was outed as a fictitious character. The whole thing struck kind of foul to certain people. And might I say, it really was more white people than black people that were offended by the Dwayne from Swedesboro character. They were offended that a white person, a little white guy, could take a lot of the stereotypes and nuances that go on with the black people that are synonymous with, black people, or at least thought to be synonymous, and create a whole character. And this is a little white guy that's hiding in the corner of the studio and brought this character to life. So a lot of people cried foul about that and cried closeted racism. That A, that this white guy would create this character, and B, that Mike Missinelli would often join in the jive talk as he talked to this guy, that he felt comfortable using jive. To me, it's like, yo, slow your roll. Everybody's a little... Take your finger off the sensitivity button for 1 second. Dude was funny, man.
Yeah, it was.
He was funny as hell. I'm sorry. He cracked me up. Matter of fact, it hurt my heart when I found out he wasn't rich. I was like, does that mean he's not going to call anymore? Dwayne is the boy. That was my man. Yeah, he's done.
Dwayne, you would sit in your driveway and listen to the rest of Dwayne.
Right.
Like, I would sit in my car, just like you said, Snoop. I would sit in my car.
You would be like,
I gotta listen to what Dwayne's talking about, man.
Did he talk any sports or just general life?
He talked sports. He made good points.
It wasn't his main effort. Like, he was just one of the character calls.
Right.
He talked about how he couldn't stand Chip Kelly.
Okay.
He didn't like Chip Kelly. He would mainly talk Eagles and he would talk Sixers. Yeah, he didn't like Chip Kelly. He would talk a lot about he would talk about the current state of Philly sports, but it was more about his exploits. And with Dwayne, he talked in the third person.
Right.
And he had this little mousy voice. Like, I can't even do an imitation. Like Dwayne, like, listen, Mike Missinelli, Dwayne would be like this.
Yeah.
And Dwayne, let me give you one word of advice. Dwayne would put on the English
always
wood.
talked in
What do
the
you
third
talk about?
person.
Mahogany wood?
Mahogany wood.
He would always talk about this cologne scent that would get all the ladies. And he urged Mike to try the mahogany wood. So, alright. Just to give a quick background on this. Last week, sports site Crossing Broad murdered Dwayne from Swedesboro by revealing he was not an authentic person, but a minstrel act, figment of a white man's imagination. Pat Egan, a Fanatic producer, created Dwayne all by himself. That led to a 3-day vacations for, or as they call it, suspensions, for Egan, Fanatic program director Matt Nahagian, and assistant program director Jason Martinez, who's Mike's sidekick on the air. They all got suspended for 3 days as a result. But it brings out the discussion again on the lines of race relations. Would you find something like that offensive if you found yourself laughing and where humor lies.
And you said you got to take your finger off the, the
Sensitive.
wrong button sometimes because racial humor can be funny. And whether that's black or white, it can be funny. If you stop being sensitive about everything and someone's not overtly offensive and using slurs and things like that, you can't speak to someone's existence or someone's reality. If he maybe grew up around blacks and it's easy for him to know black culture and to affect the black accent because he has friends, perhaps. I don't know the guy.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, you find a lot of people who could do that easily, were able to, grew up around people that are able to, I guess, mimic them easily and
Right.
know the little nuances that go into creating that character. That's what comedy in general.
Right.
You know, if
That's
you can
comedy.
do it. You can do an Asian accent. You
That's
can do a
comedy.
Jamaican accent. You can do it. Who's to say you can't do it and be funny?
Like your boy.
Like which one?
The boy that you saw in my crib when he was talking about the little Asian kid at the restaurant.
Oh.
And he was like,
You know, and a lot of it again, Snoop, you brought this up earlier, it's about the intent and who's delivering the message. You know what I mean? And there's a double standard. You talk about double standard. Black comedians can imitate white people all day long.
Right,
And
right.
they don't get any sensitivity card pulled on
Sure.
them. Or no one cries a foul. You know, Eddie Murphy puts whiteface on, or Dave Chappelle puts whiteface on, and nobody says anything.
Right.
This guy created an innocent character on the radio who was definitely, if he wasn't funny, I would have been offended.
Right.
But dude was legitimately hilarious.
Right.
He was a funny character.
Yo,
he
man,
created.
the double standard.
The
is
double
not,
standard,
It's not
man.
just for. It's not just white people against black people.
You're right.
Because black people have double standards in regards to white people. too.
Right.
If you do, if somebody does that,
Yeah.
somebody acts or impersonates a black person,
Right.
and goes into the I mean, you know, black people be like, oh, hold up,
Yeah, right.
that ain't right,
But it is
that
what it
ain't
is.
right.
What it is. It's true.
It's a
though,
double
dude.
standard.
It's true. You gonna get back the truth?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's the truth.
It's true.
But that's what I'm saying. Let's laugh at it.
Yeah,
Let's laugh at it.
exactly.
Laugh
Be
at it,
like,
you know?
laughter-
if you're not being straight up derogatory
Right.
and mean and
Mean-spirited.
total insensitive and
Right.
sensitivity about it,
Exactly.
then you know what? Let's laugh.
Let's
about
laugh at it, man.
You know
It's
what I
funny.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like, let me give you another example. Are any of you in this room offended by Uncle Ruckus, who was a character on the Boondocks?
I love
Uncle Ruckus, for those that don't know, Uncle Ruckus was a character on the Boondocks animated series that ran for about, 5 years on Comedy
It's
Central.
on now.
On the
It's
Cartoon
back
Network.
on.
Is this back on again?
It's not McGruder right?
McGruder.
Oh, a new team.
Somebody else.
I didn't know that.
It's still drawn by them though, right?
I'm
I
not
don't even
sure.
think so. Aaron McGruder's completely on some next
okay.
stuff. I didn't know it came back.
Yeah, it came back.
But-
I don't know if it's still, but it came back after McGruder.
Okay, but just to say that this character, Uncle Ruckus, was a old, bitter black man who had a bulging eye and no teeth, and he loved white people. Like he was like the house nigga that saw that white people could do no wrong and black people were evil. And this is an old, bitter black man with the stance. But with that being said, Uncle Ruckus is one of the most popular characters.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, and to the matter of fact, they were trying to create a spin-off, a live action version of Uncle Ruckus. And they did some like film tests and stuff to see if people would react positively to a live action version of Uncle Ruckus. And it didn't go over too well.
Yeah. Well,
It was a little too controversial.
because
So
you know what though, cartoons lighten things up.
they do.
You can do whatever you want in a cartoon
They do.
fashion. It'll lighten
Right.
it up a little bit. But
Yeah,
the other thing is,
good point.
I think it still had a little bit of that double standard. It's still where a black,
Mhm.
because he was a black person, really kind of derogatory to black people.
Mhm.
It went over better, man. It's
Mhm.
like, yeah.
You bring up a good point. When it's animated, you can get away with a lot. It takes on a whole nother hue
Yeah.
if it went live action.
It
Yeah.
softens it up a little.
It softens it up. I agree.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things.
Again,
But,
let's just tell the people where we're coming from.
oh, go ahead. Let them know.
WPEB 88.1 live
Yes,
in the
sir.
Lemon Drop Lounge. You're listening to Build and Destroy Radio with Ange, Snoop, and Duke,
There you go. This is
Yeah,
the
you
little
do
show.
that,
Get it right.
or otherwise known as Mark, David, and Derek.
AKAs.
However you want to do it.
AKAs. You know what I mean? So, this whole Dwayne from Swedesboro thing was a hot topic, and as a matter of fact, it went viral, went national. The story was in the People section of New York
Oh
Times.
wow, I didn't know
It was
that.
out in the LA Times. I mean, it went national, this whole thing. And it just brought up a whole thing about race again. Like, when is it okay for, a white, little nerdy white guy to put on blackface and create a character?
Right.
Is that okay with people? So it was an interesting banter back and forth about that.
Yeah.
And I read an article on Philly.com by a Ronnie Polanski. She's a Daily News columnist.
Ronnie Polneski, I think it is.
Ronnie Polanski.
Right, absolutely.
She
Okay.
raised a question because, like I just said, three of the producers from the show, as well as the program director, were suspended for 3 days as a result of this character because they said it was in bad taste in regards to racial tenor and racial overtones. They said it pushed the boundaries.
Yeah.
That's why they suspended them. One person that didn't get suspended was Mike Missinelli, whom had the most interaction with. He was a Mike Missinelli caller, but Missinelli didn't get suspended. He said, "I didn't know that Dwayne from Swedesboro was not a real person." Missinelli said in his show when the fraud went public, "I would not have authorized a racially charged caller like that because a white producer creating a black character with some racial stereotypes might have pushed racial boundaries too far." Okay, so Ms. Polanski raised the question. This is where Dwayne himself would have called BS. How could someone who is sensitive to racial undertones like Mike Missinelli often is, can be so comfortable slipping into ebonics with a black caller? She called foul on that.
Right.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree because again, I mean, Mike does get comfortable. He talks about with the brothers and stuff like that. Oh man, you hear him sometimes. He doesn't have a problem with
Slips
you.
into a
Right?
What Mike talked about?
Yeah. Well, like when he gets black call, he says, "Oh man, you hear him sometimes."
He'd be like, how the brothers feel about this? How the
Right.
brothers-
Right.
Because you should be able to have dialogue
And I have a problem
without
with
it
this.
being
Exactly.
contentious.
You have to be all on edge all the time. Relax, man.
Yeah,
You know, relax. You're in entertainment. It's not
Do
that
you cry
serious.
foul on that?
On Dwayne, just the whole.
Or just questioning, did Mike know, or do you
I
draw?
don't think it didn't sound like he knew. But
Yeah, he didn't know.
I don't. Yeah.
Do you draw any umbrage to when he slips in any type of ebonics talking to a black caller versus a white caller?
I like it. You know what I mean? Because you can tell the spirit of it. It's
Right.
It's not a
No malice.
derogatory malice spirit.
No
It's
malice.
just being cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm gonna defend Mike Missinelli here because he brings forth a lot of provoking conversation in
Yeah.
regards to race.
Yeah.
Like he'll often speak about Italian stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like one of his things
talked
he
about
thought,
the pizza.
yeah, the pizza box. Mike can't stand the little Italian guy on the pizza box with the scents coming up from the pizza. Now that's a great Italian. Like, why's it gotta be a little Italian guy? Like, that's so racist. And I kind of vibe with him. That's like if you got Chinese food delivered, you see a guy with two lines going up. Like, I hope enjoy your fried rice. You know?
That's not right.
It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Right.
So if you're gonna talk about it one way,
He's right.
it goes both ways. So
Absolutely.
he brings a lot of those stereotypes to light. He exposes a lot of people for what they really are, and he just brings thought-provoking conversation, and I respect that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hope we do this too on Build Destroy Radio,
Yeah.
because I know you provoked me, Mark, many times.
Yeah, I think we're provoking.
Yes,
We're provoking.
provoking.
One way or the other.
One way or the other. One way or the other. Speaking of provoking, we had some thought-provoking TV over the weekend.
We did.
Great weekend of TV.
Ooh.
Headlined by the 2016 VMA Video Music Awards on MTV. Anybody get a chance to check
I
any of
watched
it out?
not 1 minute. I was on my way from Virginia.
I guess
Did
right, you were
watch
on the
it?
road.
Yeah.
I DVR'd it. I watched it.
What you think?
I thought it was well produced. It was supposed to be
Was
a
it
night.
boring like they said it was boring?
It was a little slow because they used a little different format. They didn't have a host per se, but they used Key and Peele in their usual wild costumes. They're
Right,
supposed to be
right.
these these hipster generation bloggers that were
Okay.
hosting the show.
Okay.
So it was funny
Were
to
they
me.
funny?
They were funny. They were funny, but it was a little awkward
Okay.
in some of the things,
Yeah.
you know, because they didn't have direct response to the stuff they were
Absolutely.
doing.
I got you.
And then they would kick it to different people. Like I tell you, who was good as a host? DJ Khaled killed it.
Okay.
They had different hosts positioned around Madison Square Garden.
Oh, I see.
And Key and Peele would do a little bit of their skit, and then they would throw it to somebody else. So one of the people was DJ Khaled, and they gave him a DJ Khaled suite with all his industry friends like Fat Joe, Remy
Yeah,
Ma was
yeah,
in there, French Montana, you know, different people, you know, hip hop luminaries were in his suite. And he did the pre-show, what? Hip hop luminaries.
I'll put French Montana.
Here you go. Here you go with the French hate. Do we have to go back to the French hate? Do we have to talk about the French hate
That was like
again?
episode 2 of Build Destroy Radio.
Do we have to
That was
go
like
back
episode
to
2 or 3 in our infancy when you guys had that clash. That was
Beginning
in
of the
our
show.
infancy.
Yes.
When you guys had that nice little war about
Yes.
French Montana.
And since
it was
then-
so old, I couldn't remember which one of y'all were pro and which one of y'all were
Right, it was that long
I
ago,
couldn't
right?
remember as I was hearing some French the other day.
Well,
I can't remember which
to
one of you
Snoop's
guys
chagrin,
liked.
since that time, French Montana has had a number of hits.
Oh yeah,
He keeps pumping out hits.
But he's not the driving force of the hits.
No, he's
He's
the artist.
He's a passenger. He's
He's
a
the artist.
He's usually like a hook man or whatever.
He's the artist.
He's not the artist on All the Way Up.
Oh, that's not his song. That's Fat Joe and Remy Ma.
Yeah, what other song is he?
He's had a lot of hits. He's driven a lot of hits since that time.
Like David.
I'm not the president of French Montana fan club, but I know he has a lot of hits that have been spawned since the last time we talked.
Right.
Whether or not Mark wants to give credit or credence to them or not is another story.
Hits.
He got hits.
You can't despise hits. I mean,
Leave it at that. He makes hits. He's a hit maker. He's a hit
Secondary
maker.
language, David.
He's a hit maker.
Soldier Boy
David,
had
that's
hits.
awesome.
He's a hit maker.
Soldier Boy had hits.
All right,
we can
they
go
won
through
at the
wagons-
VMAs though.
we can
Let's
go
keep
through
it to the
wagons
VMAs.
of hit makers.
All right, speaking of hit makers, Future performed at the awards.
He's a hit maker.
Future was terrible,
Wow.
and he actually is good live, but he just come on,
He's
man.
0 for 2.
He decided
Last
that
two then.
yes, he was terrible.
He was hard.
Why was he
Rihanna-
terrible, David? Give it to me.
He was bad because he did I forget what song
Commas. I already
he
did
did.
commas.
He did part of commas or
Okay,
something
I
else.
see.
He didn't sing one lyric, and he would come in and do tour. Like, dude, you're not doing Chris Brown dance routines. You're gonna be so out of breath.
Right.
I despise rappers that go on any show and don't rap.
Mhm.
Like my dude, unless you're doing backflips and jumping through fire,
Right.
you need to be spitting every last thing
Absolutely.
instead of using a reference track and just dabbing your way to get your check for
I
appearance.
see.
And
I
that's
think-
what he did. It was terrible.
And bigger than that, the new style of vernacular,
Mhm.
for lack of a better term, is the slur. It's not alive.
It
So
doesn't
he can't
lend
recreate-
itself. You're
to
right,
live.
Steve. You're
But
right.
he got lyrics
A
like,
la designer.
Yeah, it doesn't
His-
lend
his
itself to
performance.
live.
to his credit, designer, who I termed the black hip hop Mick Jagger.
Okay.
He does every one of those lyrics, even though you don't know what the Sam Heck he's saying.
Okay.
He performs his song. He
Yeah.
performs.
If you know the lyrics, you can roll with it.
You can roll with
Right.
it. You can roll with the groove and the vibe. You know, he's going off. He's dabbing. Got the crowd involved. That gives him respect.
Right.
Future had dances around him, a couple explosions, and he just wiggle, and just dab. Like, come on, man. Like that was real weak. So he was the weakest of the evening. Again, the night was supposed to be centered around Rihanna, who gave 4 different performances because she got the Vanguard Award.
Absolutely.
That's the Lifetime Achievement Award that
Sure.
the VMAs give out. Rihanna was very deserving of it. Her body of work is tremendous, both visually and sonically,
Musically, yes.
musically. So she got that. She had 4 separate performances that were all epic.
Okay.
Rihanna actually sang. When she was dancing, she didn't sing. So she did her thing. But again, this was supposed to be Rihanna's night, but she was eclipsed by Queen Bey.
Right.
They gave Beyonce like 14 minutes. She did almost her whole album.
Wow. To perform, they gave
Oh,
Baby 14 minutes.
she
to perform.
killed it. She killed it. She killed it. They gave Beyonce 4 minutes. You know, even though it was supposed to be Rihanna's night, it was all about Beyonce,
Okay.
who took home, numerous awards. She took Artist of the Year, Video of the Year, and the big ones.
Sure.
and she gave a very thought-provoking performance. Again, bringing to life, she did Formation. Again, putting at the forefront of her performance the current state of what we just talked about, police relations in the hood with people of color. This didn't go over real well with one of the people that watched the awards, one former mayor, Rudy Giuliani, king idiot, who stands right next to Donald Trump in regards to...
They're in formation. Trump and Giuliani.
Yes.
They're in formation.
Yes, they're in formation.
In the formation of idiocy.
Yes,
They're in formation.
they're in formation. They should have been dancing next to Beyonce. So Giuliani is asked on Fox News the day after the VMAs, which came on Sunday. He appeared on Fox and Friends, I think, or one of those shows. And basically he said, let me read the quote. "I saved more black lives than any of those people you saw on stage by reducing crime, particularly homicide, by 75%, of which maybe 4,000 or 5,000 were African American young people who are all alive today because of the policies and initiatives I put in effect that weren't in effect 35 years ago." So he got his, he put it out there like,
Okay.
you want to talk about Black Lives Matter, they're mad at me because I saved more
Right.
by putting you jigaboos and telling you got to be in by 9 p.m. At the calling Queen Bey shameful, Giuliani launched into a rant explaining why he was so offended. "I had 5 uncles who were police officers, 2 cousins who were, and 1 who died in the line of duty. I ran the largest and best police department in the world, the New York City Police Department." Dum, 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 dum. So Giuliani,
What's your point, dude?
Yeah.
What is your point?
yeah,
Dude?
he wasn't
Well, you said
happy.
you mad over the VMAs?
Right.
You mad over Beyonce? I mean, come on.
You
my
mad at
man.
Beyonce? You
Stop.
waged a private war against
Exactly.
Beyonce.
You
How does that
grown
even
man.
sound right? Like
You a grown
you're a
man
grown old man.
sitting up here and getting mad over some young starlet on TV singing her
Exactly.
song, doing her performance for a segment of population you
Yes.
have no ties to.
Yeah.
You know, you're irrelevant to that segment of the
Man, you
populace
kidding me.
that are Beyonce fans. You're irrelevant,
Right.
and you find time to go in and
He found time.
and put your mark on it.
He
You know, I
found
save
time.
more people. Really? Come on, man.
He found
Come
time.
on, David. Come on.
Got a quick report in that we just talked about. Teddy Bridgewater completely obliterated his knee.
Oh wow. Okay.
So Teddy Bridgewater's got a long road back. You know, I hate to see that on anybody.
Definitely.
You know,
Did you guys play the Vikings this year? We do. Did y'all play the Vikings this year?
I don't know. I think.
David, you guys have the Vikes this year?
nah, we don't have the Vikes this year.
Okay.
Side note, that's a gorgeous stadium they
It's
built.
amazing,
It's
boy.
an amazing stadium.
Jeez.
Nice.
They built,
That's
what do
a
they call
place
it?
to go
High
right
tension
there. That's a
glass
place to go.
roof.
There's
Oh
a site to
man,
go, boy. That
Oh,
place is
man.
awesome.
they did it right.
Natural sun. It doesn't even look like it's a dome. The sun shines
Yeah,
in.
it's
It
nice.
doesn't look like a dome.
It's
not even like a
glass.
dome.
It looked like they were straight outside.
Yeah, because when I was watching the game, I'm
It looked
watching
like
the
they were
sun
straight
come down,
outside.
and I was like, I
Straight
thought they were building
outside.
a dome.
Yeah.
They must have it open today. I was
No,
like, wow,
no.
that place.
That place is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and now they'll have Sean Hill too.
to
Watch.
usher in the new
They
stadium.
ushered in
Go
the
ahead,
stadium
Sean.
and a new era in Vikings football with your starting quarterback,
Go ahead,
Sean
Sean. Go
Hill.
ahead, bull. Do your thing.
It's amazing to me, man. These guys, the ligament damage. Like, I mean, have you ever torn a ligament? Dave?
Nah, I know. It's like they say it's like getting shot.
I have.
You have? What
Hey, you have
I
really
did, yeah.
in your
Throwing
knee.
what?
I was playing ball. We were running in North Philly. I was on the playground, and if I thought somebody hit me with a pipe. I thought
Yeah.
somebody threw something or shot me. And like you said, the pain like right there when that ligament
Intense.
snaps. I thought literally somebody had took a swing at me with a pipe to my knee. The instant pain was like it was like nothing I ever felt before, ever,
Wow.
ever,
Wow.
ever. It's very painful. It's very
Yeah.
painful. Yeah.
So that's tragic, man. It's really bad to see. But back to this whole VMA thing. One of the other things they did. So Giuliani jumped all over Beyonce. The other side note that of note is that MTV gave Kanye West 4 minutes to talk about whatever the hell he wanted to do. Whatever he could perform, he could talk, he could do a rant, he could stand there and cry, he could break down, whatever he wanted to do. They didn't know what he was gonna do. This is live TV, and they gave it to him. They knew that's must-see TV.
Yeah.
Kanye with a platform in 4 minutes.
Is this gonna be an annual thing to let this cat talk?
I don't know, but they.
You know what I mean? Is that gonna be just a thing now?
That was.
That's our annual let Kanye talk.
Yeah, so I mean, he didn't really talk. I mean, he didn't talk about anything. You know, he has a real stream of consciousness kind of way of
Yeah.
whatever.
In and out of different subject matter and.
So he shouted out Amber Rose in the crowd. He shouted out his wife as being a bomb, a gangster, a G, because that's the only reason why I can say stuff like that. Because my wife's a G. Shout out to Amber Rose. Amber Rose is
shout out to Ray J.
Shout out to Ray J.
he didn't. Did he shout out?
Yes, he did.
He did. He just said, I got put Ray J in the video. When he saw the video.
I put Ray J in the video. He just,
unbelievable.
Yeah, he just went all over the place. Like in classic Kanye fashion. My man. Yeah, you gotta love him. So they were interesting, but I find it interesting. You said you heard that they were boring.
Right.
They were kind of boring.
Okay.
I don't know if that whole era is kind of winding down.
I think there's the whole music awards. I mean, I know it's something the music industry has to have, but these days it's all about streaming. The hottest artists aren't necessarily, the best artists aren't necessarily the known artists. So many hotter artists under the radar, cats making their own mark. All the typical big timers are facing intense competition from people who don't have the resources or the money, but they're making music just as good.
The MTV,
it's accessible, Snoop.
But the MTV Awards are always supposed to be the pinnacle. Like that's the one that the Grammys.
Right. Understand? Yes.
People look for the irreverence of it. And if you want to look at it like what you're saying, that's supposed to be so cutting edge. The MTV Awards are like the last bastion of what MTV was.
Right.
And it's looking kind of dated.
Do they play videos? Honestly, the question is always asked.
First
does
of all,
MTV actually play videos anymore?
No.
At any point?
No. I don't think so.
They have
like MTV3,
MTV Live,
MTV Jams. Well, that's not even MTV. It's BET now.
BET Jams.
It's BET Jams and BET.
Really?
It's not V. It's not.
MTV Jams?
No, it's BET Jams. It's gone. It's BET Jams.
Well, BET, that's not a separate channel though, David. That's
no. They
MTV Jams was a separate channel.
They had separate channels. They rebranded it. BET
so BET Jams is just a separate a show within BET?
No, it's a channel. It's all videos.
BET has two channels?
Yeah, it's the regular BET network that has programming shows. But BET Jams is their video.
See, I don't have that.
You don't have that. You got DirecTV. Yeah, so.
Wow,
yeah, but you just answered the question. The reason why the MTV Awards aren't as relevant as they were because they don't show any damn videos. So it would fall in line that the award show would lose some steam because they don't show any videos.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen it. I don't know any. I don't watch videos. I haven't seen like Kanye's videos or like the Chris Brown videos. I just don't. I'm not up on videos per se. Rihanna's videos. I mean, I know she has some out, but I'm not up on videos.
I'm very visual. Like I still watch a lot of it. I watch videos like, especially during the time the doldrums of summer TV.
Okay.
Like I'll just put videos on. I put videos on when I work out.
Vivo?
You don't watch Vivo?
I don't have Vivo.
On
the phone. Okay.
Yeah,
right, exactly. You can watch, right.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah,
I mean, certain songs, certain songs are audio songs,
right?
And certain songs are video songs. So you may hear a song and you may not like it until you see the video, and it makes sense.
Absolutely, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this whole thing with the video now, Beyonce with the Lemonade and all these cats, and Frank making videos.
That was a visual album.
I think that's probably where it's going now. They're making visual albums because it's dope to see a video to tie in with. I will say it made me like. I don't like Beyonce per se, but it made me like the Lemonade project more because the songs were dope and it tied in with some hot visuals. We talked about the visuals were tremendous. They were just awesome. They
were great. Visually, Beyonce is a tour de force.
So good. But I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan, but it made me appreciate. It was more powerful.
Her visual art is tremendous.
It was a catch up for my hot dog.
Right. And speaking
I was
of
able to get it down because of the video.
Yeah, you're talking about visual albums. One person who took advantage of that, and I want to ask you guys about this. I'm glad you brought that up, Derek. Is Frank Ocean. We talked about that tour de force album he dropped.
Right.
Frank Ocean made some waves in the industry with the release of that album. I read an article in Billboard where Frank Ocean had a 2-album deal through Def Jam.
Okay.
So he fulfilled his obligation to Def Jam, not with Blonde,
Okay. With the
but he did it with the release of
Okay.
the other album, the Vision, which was a visual
absolutely,
album.
absolutely.
What's it called? Infinite or what's the
I'm
other?
not sure.
Eternity.
Okay.
He dropped Eternity under the Def Jam moniker. He released Blonde under his own label. And what he did was, so that he wasn't in violation of his contract with Def Jam, he dropped Eternity first on
I got it.
well, through release.
Yeah.
Okay, but then he turned around the next day and dropped Blonde exclusively through iTunes, which kind of undercut and made irrelevant the Eternity release that was on Def Jam.
Okay.
So he set up an interesting dichotomy with that, and it's something that a lot of artists may try to do in the future. And again, it undercuts the structure of the recording.
What was the
industry.
purpose of that?
The purpose was that he knew what album was hot. He didn't want to give that to Def Jam.
So
he
is
kept-
that, are you talking? So what you're saying? I'm gonna interrupt.
he knew Blonde was hotter than Eternity.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
okay.
he kept his
Haven't heard it.
obligation.
Okay.
He kept his obligation. He gave them their album. They released it. Unbeknownst to them, he went right behind their back and dropped Blonde. They said with that move, he went from, so he released it under his own label. Okay, so Eternity is only going to net him, like I think 25 or 30% profit,
Okay.
whereas Blonde under his own label brings him 75% profit.
Wow.
And he didn't violate any terms of his contract doing it.
That's sweet.
Even though in a lot of contracts there's usually some sort of exclusivity clause, like non-compete clause, but obviously they found a loophole in his contract that wasn't there. So he
There's
must
some
have talked
lawyers-
to
there's
his
some
team.
lawyers getting fired.
Yeah, well,
Based on Monday.
or getting
Right,
hired
right,
by
right.
Frank Ocean. This Def Jam lawyer's getting fired. Somebody ain't write that contract right. But but it's funny to me that every time an artist finds a glitch in the system to the advantage of the little man, the music industry cries all kinds of foul.
I know.
We're not gonna survive. We can't do. Y'all been stealing from cats for forever. Mr. Goldstein and Bricklestein in LA.
Built
like-
off the bat, the sweat and
Oh,
blood.
come on.
You got empires
Exactly,
built off
built
the
off
pockets of your artists over the years.
And you giving cats Kia Sportages
Right.
and Isuzu Troopers. I'll never forget the story. TLC, that was TLC, told that story. They said we just completed a world tour, sold out world tour, like 40 city tour across the globe, and she was like, they got off the tour bus, and Pebbles said, "Great show, you guys, great tour." And Pebbles, who was their manager, drove off in a big body Benz, tinted up with rims and everything. They said we had 3 Isuzu Troopers.
Right. Oh my God.
And $3,000 I think they had $12,000
Right,
apiece.
right. The money. We hear the money stories because even the Tory
Crazy.
Norton talks about with TLC. I mean, with
Right.
and with 3L,
3LW.
when she said she had $8,000 in her pocket after the course of the year in her bank account. $8,000.
And they got platinum.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
platinum,
Ooh.
platinum.
Ooh, that
But
game
anytime
is.
they get taken to the house,
Yeah.
the little man finds a glitch in the system.
Yeah.
They cry all kinds of foul. Like this is unheard of. The industry can't survive. I hope you guys like this independent thing because all right. Settle
Mad.
down, monsters.
You mad.
You mad. You mad.
Well, that being said, fellas, if I could summarize our conversation on that, what do y'all think about the Frank album in its entirety? I know you got a chance to listen. What do y'all think?
Not as impressed.
What do you think,
The
David?
second round.
Mm-hmm.
It got a little. It
Started
started
off the track
very
for you a little bit,
strong.
Snoop?
Towards the end of it, it just like went somewhere else.
But went somewhere else.
And I couldn't keep up with it. And
Right.
I gotta probably revisit it, but it just. I mean, artists take chances. They do things.
Sure.
He's a very artistic dude, and either I'm not that artistic, or just
That's fair. That's fair. David, what say you?
Hold me the whole way.
that's the kind of project that's either gonna scratch your creative juices, or it's gonna fly over your radar a little bit, and you're gonna cram to understand what he's talking about. And for me, that album is a tour de force.
Okay.
I kind of dig what Mark's saying, because it goes off to the left a little bit towards the end,
Sure it does.
but it quickly gets reeled back in when you hear that verse that Andre 3000
Yeah.
sang.
Oh, that was tremendous.
That verse is
It was
crazy.
tremendous.
But Frank is a visionary, man. Like I said, we talked about this in brief last week. His work, he does things in 3D. He's a 3D R&B artist.
Absolutely.
He's virtual reality.
Yeah.
He creates a world around you. He pulls you into his world, and he paints it so vividly, and sees things from a different angle and perspective that most cats that are writing don't have. He's just a real unique brother, and I really dig where he comes
I love
from.
that. I love
And
that.
I love that album. I love that
And
album.
you know what? I love the album too. I discussed with my brother though. I looked at the albums and the releases of this year.
Mhm.
It's not album of the year for me. I still say it's not better than Division. Division's better than Frank's album, if you ask me.
And you know what? I listened to
Divisions
that.
is just an
I
amazing,
listened to that whole album.
amazing. I had to put my brother down with Division because he hadn't heard when I was down in Virginia,
That's
and we
interesting.
just listened to the whole thing over again. And that album is it's so good to me.
I like
bro.
that Division album.
is just so good to me, man. It's so good to me.
Yeah.
Not to say Frank's isn't, but at the end of the day, where does it strike me from from the senses? How do I feel about it after I listen to the album? And Division it just
Well, the one
blows me
thing
away.
I
It does
think-
it for me,
I
man.
think one thing that gets lost in these discussions is, I think Division is just an overall better singer.
Oh
Like,
right, oh he's
vocal
vocally?
chops. Yeah,
He's a
Oh,
bad
yeah.
boy.
I think he's
a bad
just.
boy.
I mean, because we always talk about the song and it's the turn up and but they can't really sing.
That
It's
boy's a
the-
bad boy.
Division can
He's a bad
sing,
boy. He's
and
a
Frank-
that takes you a lot.
Ocean can sing.
Bro, Ocean can say he did some things on this album.
Ocean
man.
can
He did some
sing.
things.
But
he can
Ocean
sing,
takes
but
more.
he's-
Ocean takes a
not
lot of
a-
chances.
Right.
He's not.
Ocean takes a lot of
singer
chances.
than Division.
Oh yeah, Division is nice.
Division lot. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of like
Well,
somebody.
don't leave people hanging. Tell people about this Division. People are
Absolutely.
up on Division. Let
Okay,
them know
Division
about it.
is a root of the tribe of Drake. Canada,
The
Toronto,
OVO
Canada's
camp.
OVO camp.
Right.
Toronto artists. They released a very indie and with little fanfare album earlier this year. I think it was in March. The album dropped, called September the 5th. And you guys want some good R&B that's just great, and you want to hear what we're talking about, definitely cop that album. It's about 12 tracks.
Spell,
of
how
just-
do you
it's
spell
perfect. DVSN.
Division.
It's a flawless album to me. It's just
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
short and just awesome.
Yeah.
As far as it still moves me. It still has that same hit now, so many months later,
Right.
since we got onto it. And I love the album.
I think
I'm
it- I
absolutely
think-
in love with it.
in totality, it's probably a better beginning to end project.
That's how I feel about it. That's
I think it's
I
more.
mean, you're asking us to compare. You're asking
Yeah,
to compare
it's
like
a
a
tough
top.
comparison.
You're asking to compare like
It's an
a
easier-
top of the line a K9000 against a BMW 5 Series with Frank. The Frank's gonna always have the glory and the goods.
To me,
It's gonna have that cachet, but-
trying to compare those albums, I think you're it's like taking
They're very
it's like taking Tolstoy and comparing it to like a Hardy Boys mystery. It's
But
two
you
different
still
things.
have to know, David.
But- but-
when you talk about albums, you
but
still got to go
but
album
here's the
versus
thing.
album. You
Divi-
can't qualify it.
It's
album
not,
versus
you can't
album.
album versus album. Division's an easier listen. It's a more standard, project.
Sure.
Like I said, Frank Ocean takes a lot of chances. You know what I
and
mean?
and it takes you to your point. You have to be committed to the listen. And you have to
It's a hard listen. It's a tough
go.
listen.
You have to go through some
These are
some
key
things.
terms.
It's a tougher
Committed to the
listen.
You
It's a
gotta-
tougher
you
listen.
gotta be committed.
Yeah.
And that's why I think
Those-
but
The molasses that are Frank Ocean ain't gonna go down real smooth at first. You gotta take.
This
You
is
gotta,
true.
but see, and that's the thing. The last album did, and
Mhm.
everything
I
I've
agree.
heard before that did.
Right.
Very easy, very acceptable.
But with success comes a
And then
certain
you-
level of more. You get more leeway to try.
Artistic range.
Well,
and you look at it. I mean, to be honest, Division's a debut, and
Right.
Frank's on his
Exactly.
fourth,
Right.
fifth project, so
Right.
it's unfair in that respect. I'm merely talking, David, back for your year.
Mhm.
album of the year.
Right.
If I'm not gonna, disqualify division because they're new. Just album of the year for me. What hits me when at the end of the day, when I say what's dopest, division's the best. But like you said, Dave, you have to take it all in its totality at the end of the year and say you got to take Frank for the project that it was. Division didn't release a project. Division merely released an album,
Right.
which was good.
Right.
Frank released a project, so you got to take it in with a grain of salt. I agree with you.
An adventurous project.
Definitely.
But you know what?
The conundrum with these artists is they have a formula for success for an album, for 2 albums, and every artist as they grow,
Seems to
and especially those that are truly artistic, they truly want to start
Show some range.
letting it out and start doing
I'm
other
with that.
things.
I heard that.
And
I love
sometimes we all applaud it, but sometimes they miss the mark. Sometimes they can miss the mark
And
because you have 2 or 3. No, you have 2 or 3. You
I
have 2
don't,
or 3.
Mr. Mark is a little. You're stretching.
No, if you miss the mark, you miss.
Oh,
the
you're
mark.
talking about in general. I thought you were saying Frank Ocean missed.
No,
it.
no,
No,
I said,
yeah, he's
no,
not
I'm
saying.
saying
He's an artist
if
that
you
released
have
that
if you have an
important
artist,
project.
if you have an artist that has 2 or 3 platinum albums that you love, and then they on the 4th one they come and they're totally different.
Can I ask you a
They-
question?
it may not be what you're looking for from that artist.
You make good points. But can I ask you a question about missing the mark?
Sure.
Do you think Young Jock missed the mark with the his new hairdo?
Mr. Mark. Haircut.
He clearly, Mr. Mark, you oaf. I gotta
You have not seen.
You're an oaf.
You would.
I can't call you the proper word. You gotta
Pull
think of a
this
word.
up.
Please.
You pull this up.
Please
David,
look at
you
it and
could
then
never-
give us
David,
a comment.
Can I say this? And I
Yes.
won't say nothing else.
Yes.
Young Joe, or whatever his name is,
Young Jock.
his look right now is a direct result of this young boy, this designer, and this young thug, and this whole. It's cool to go in that direction.
Right.
It's not cool to go in that direction, David, and blur the lines between what constitutes someone should be walking around as a man, and someone should be walking around as a woman.
So you're not building on Young Jock's
I'm totally
ride,
destroyed.
died, and laid to the side,
You
new
look like
hairstyle.
I can't even. You look like
First
Yo.
of all, when you got a picture and you look just like your girl,
right. Yeah.
this
And your head is not linked to
Listen.
that. You got a block.
Okay.
This is my theory
Okay.
when it comes to fashion and stuff.
All right.
And I consider myself a very fashionable
Absolutely,
dude.
yes.
I consider
But
yourself
when
a
I get
champion.
too close to what my girl has
What my
on,
girl has
You gotta go away. You gotta go
clothes
away.
wise,
Danger,
hair
danger.
wise,
That's stranger
Set
danger.
wise.
That's
scent wise,
That's stranger danger.
jewelry wise, whatever it is.
Stranger danger.
It's too much, man.
It's
I'm
too much.
That's
serious.
stranger danger.
It's
You gotta blow your
crazy.
whistle.
It's too
You gotta
much.
blow your whistle. But okay, let me play devil's advocate. Okay, let me play devil's advocate.
David, can you
real quick.
also do a 1 and 1A problem with Young Thug's album cover with him with the dress on?
Wait.
You also blend that
Wait.
too?
Let me play
Speak on
devil's
that.
advocate. Let me play devil's advocate. Is there anything? I mean, to me, that's a throwback style to the eras of Jackie Wilson and the Shy Lights guy when you fried and dyed your hair.
Right.
You know, more regularly. They did that all the time. Lest we forget the scene from Malcolm X when he had his hair perm and they left the lion cut the water off so the police could draw him out.
Right.
That was a regular thing.
That's not
Young Jock's
that's not tribute.
Young Jock's
That's not
hairdo
tribute.
is a harken back to a foregone era
It's not
Do
tribute.
wop era.
of doo-wop and drop top Cadillacs and
He couldn't spell
and Bobby
shy.
socks
He couldn't
and
spell shy lights, and you spotted him the L-I-T.
yeah. Listen, the memes are hilarious. Show it to him. The memes are hilarious. They said he was on VH1 last night with that hairdo.
Right.
And they said, yo, son, you like a Korean pop star. Like you about to go Gangnam Style. They took his head. They took his head and put it on top of the Popeyes woman for the commercial. You like the Popeyes chicken.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, the Jones are hilarious, yo.
I gotta see these.
But he said to his credit, he was like, you know what? Truth be told, I created like about 4 of those own memes because it's funny to me.
Right.
And he's like, I broke the internet with this, you know, so people are talking. He was like, my joint went viral. He was like, I got 10 million hits off of that. Yes, there it is. So, you're not feeling it.
I'm not feeling.
I can't. I mean, he's an adventurous cat, man. The memes are hilarious, dude.
Dude, it's not a tribute.
It's not a tribute. It's not a tribute.
If you were doing a show and your theme was 60s or something and you did it, fine. You wash it out. You get your fade back. That's not a tribute. That's just. I agree with Derek Edge, Slicer D, Young Kaepernick, whatever his name is. I think
Young
it just lends to, just like you said, the Young Thug, the Will, not the
Ward dress.
Jaden Smith.
Right,
Like
Smith,
it's just.
right.
It's just you're crossing the line.
It's blowing the line.
You're
So
crossing
do
the
you
line.
give him any props for the fact that he was adventurous enough and had the cojones
No,
to
David,
step out in public
David,
with
you
that?
keep talking about give Donald Trump credit then. Donald Trump is standing up for what he believes in.
A lot of people do give him credit.
Yes, but you don't. And
No.
so don't keep giving Amber Rose and all these dweebs credit for being dweebs just because they stand up for it and they market it and it is so what? It doesn't matter. That is not credit worthy.
No credit worthy.
Neither is Donald Trump, neither is Amber Rose, neither is French Montana. None of these
Speak on
clowns,
it,
they're
speak
not
on it, Snoop.
just because they're
You go talk about
just because they have the guts and the gall to do
Speak
it
on it,
doesn't
speak on it,
mean
speak on it.
that you have to give them credit for it.
Okay.
It just doesn't, and
Speak on
that
it,
is a disgrace, man.
So I take it you won't be going with
No.
Evie on Saturday morning
Never.
to
I don't even know what you're gonna say, but never.
I gotta get my man a little bit, yeah.
And with that being said, we've broken our own land speed record. We did 2 hours straight through. There's no corner.
That's right.
There's no station ID. We did do one station ID.
ID.
We'll do one right now. This
Hey,
is
David, absolutely.
WPEB 88.
When these mics get hot, man, it's no cooling them off.
no
When
cooling off. The mics were hot. The mics were hot tonight. The mics were hot. Your man got on a roll and
I
he couldn't
loved
be
it.
stopped.
I loved it. I
You
loved
got
it.
on a roll.
I'm dealing with
and
you.
you
I'm
couldn't.
feeling Snoop's tirade.
Okay. I love
That's
his rant.
real talk. That's
I
from the
love
heart.
it. That's what makes Build and Destroy what it is. That's the Build and Destroy experience.
Absolutely.
We invite you to follow us on this experience 3 nights a week starting in September. Monday, Big Bad Radio app, 6 to 8. Tuesday, WPEB, the community leader. Wednesday, Breaking Chains Radio, 7 to 9. Alright? 3 outlets, 3 times the experience,
3 times the flavor.
3 times the flavor.
Flavor.
Nothing diluted, uncut, raw. We bring it to you 3 times a
Speaking
week.
of uncut raw,
Uh-huh.
how about Power Hour this week?
Power
That was
Hour.
uncut raw. Uncut raw.
If you didn't already not like the character of Kanan,
You
could he sing any?
He does the building.
When you thought he couldn't go any lower,
Right, good.
did he really take the God bless his house pillow?
Jesus.
Jesus saves pillow.
What was that he took out? I'm sorry.
Just a lady that was in
Somebody that was in the old
his old trap house.
That was okay.
His old trap
really?
house.
Okay.
Wow.
He needed that property back.
So he's just gonna take it.
He just took it.
Wow.
He helped
Wasn't
the old lady with her
the
bags, and
Unbelievable. It snuffed her.
I venture to say.
While he had Andre on hold. Hold on, man.
Yeah. Anyway, he snuffed the old lady as a 54. Like anyway, as you were saying.
With no problem.
Wow.
No problem. No problem.
Girls can't let this Euro trash take them under,
I
man.
know, yeah.
This Euro trash
So,
started pissing
did you
you
guys
off.
pick up what the mistake was?
The cigarette.
Yes, the supplement of cigarettes.
So he's gonna trap that cigarette. My guess, cause my mind started
The
working.
cigarette?
He
Explain.
was like, he made him, like when the boy was in the crib, he started smoking a cigarette. So I thought he was going to be like, yo, you can't smoke in the crib. But he just looked at it and then he was like, he made a mistake. I'm going to use it against him.
He's gonna find where he gets that cigarette from.
Something.
Cause that's a
to get it
rare
from,
brand.
Or put something
Or a
in it.
connection.
Or something. Yes.
And that's too simple. He's gonna find some sort of connection. How about Tommy almost getting snuffed out?
I know, Tommy.
Tommy almost bought it. And he was ready. He was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, he said,
ready.
yeah.
That was his saving grace.
He's like, I'm ready to go. He just
Yeah.
gave his body away.
How about Tariq? That scene with him goes to Tariq was off the map.
Wow.
But he said, "What'd you say?" He forgot
Yeah.
that was his son. He
No.
forgot that was his son for
And
a
that's
moment.
and I
Have you ever been
stood
there?
up off the couch.
Have you ever been there when you're so mad at your son?
And
You
I
was
stood up off the couch. because I'm a firm believer in the moment.
Right.
That one moment right around Tariq's age,
Right.
where you feel yourself too
Right.
much.
Yeah. And he stopped Natasha from hitting them.
Yeah.
You really on your level. You took cussing.
That's real
It's
talk.
whenever you can curse at your parents.
I think we've all been there.
Woo!
But first of
I
all-
think you haven't been there yet. Maybe me and Snoop.
No,
you
I'm
haven't
talking
been
about
there.
us
Oh, I'm
growing
talking
up.
about yes, Randy with your strangle Chester.
No,
he's
I've
still an
been
innocent young strapper.
No, I've been
He's
there.
still
Right
my
around that
little
same
guy.
age. I've
He's
been
still
there
my
with
little
my
guy.
father. No.
But I'm talking about with me.
I'm talking about us.
I've had a nice little discussion with
Yes.
with the younger
I've
niggas.
already said keep the lawn manicured and rocks off the lawn. Because one day it's gonna be on the lawn, and it's just going. And you gotta know when it's coming so you can get in the gym a little bit. Because you can't have that little. You can't take a couple.
Right.
You just gotta
Not at all.
be quick,
Yeah,
decisive, little joint. Like
exactly.
I will
Always be,
bust your.
I don't care if I'm 55. It's still gonna be.
I'm very theatrical. So when I have that moment, I want a little rain, a little thunder. I want some rain fall on the grass. I want some grass.
The rumble in the rain.
Yeah, I want to rumble in the rain. I want the grass to be falling. I want the exchange.
You want the joint where he getting up.
Exactly.
And the water's falling.
Exactly. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
He falling in the mud.
That's it. I need that kind of drama.
You want that last one? You give me hit it one more
Right.
time. You're like, no, I
Right.
can't just throw
I've
it
been
to the
working
ground.
on
You
the
rip
road.
the collar.
I've been working out, so my right feet is clinging to my twat frame. You know?
Yes.
I got some sweats on, a pair of Timbs.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's coming. That's
Yo,
coming.
because I was just like, I thought he was going to get it.
Oh, man.
The apology comes after you get beat there.
Right,
Of course.
Like,
but
that's when I.
did you sense the heat in Ghost though? He
Man,
forgot that was his
he
son.
forgot. He blacked out.
He blacked out.
Especially with everything
Oh, he
that's going
blacked
on.
out.
But
He
dude,
blacked out.
I
Yeah.
think
He was
as,
no, this is my son. It was like this is just some ball.
Yep.
but I think as your son, that you owe it to your son to give him that beat down.
Right.
Because once you cross that line of no respect to your
Right.
parents,
Right.
you have no respect for anything else.
Anything. That's right.
You
feel
talk
you
about
got-
you gotta draw that
line. When the cops roll up
You got
on you,
free reign.
you have
Yeah.
no respect. When you're in school, you have no respect.
You got
When
free
you're
reign.
anything, you
I
have
just
no
cursed him. I
respect.
just cursed my dad and my mom out. I can do what I
Yeah,
want.
exactly.
I'm at that level now.
You can't draw
I'm
that
at
line.
God
There's no
level.
line
I'm
to
at
be
God
drawn.
level.
There's no line to be
No.
drawn. You let that line go.
Yeah.
without
And Tariq just being real extra and
Yeah.
pouty. He's being a little brat for no
He looks
reason.
that age.
Everything is
That
you know,
entitlement.
man.
That entitlement,
Yeah.
man. You know, that's a microcosm for today's youth.
Yes,
That level of entitlement that they have.
Yep.
Access to everything. Don't
First
gotta
of
work
all,
for nothing.
I'm coming in blazing
Right.
when my woman called me talking about.
Yeah. Come get your son.
Well, come get him. That's one thing.
Right, come
So
talk
when
to
I hear it was physical
Right.
to your mother,
Right.
like it's one
He
thing
put
to
his
me,
hand up.
but to your mother,
Right.
oh no,
You raised
it's
your
going
hand?
down. I'm coming in blazing,
Right.
kicking the door, waving the folks.
No.
right?
Don't hit me no
Yeah.
more.
Jeez.
All right, gentlemen. Total 4 alarm blaze tonight. We kind of broke the format. The corner will be back next week.
Yes.
Got to clean things up. 3 alarm blaze set out on the corner. We weren't able to hang out on it tonight. But hell of a show, gentlemen.
Yes.
Again, thank those
Ending
that
too
checked
soon.
us out.
Ending too soon.
Yeah. Thank
Give a
those that
little
checked
air
us out.
here,
Yeah. We're about to wrap this thing up. Again, this is the Build and Destroy radio program. Make sure you check us out every Tuesday on WPEV 7 to 9. We're adding some, we're framing out the crib. We're building out, expanding things a little bit. We're going to be on Mondays on the Big Bad Radio app. Check that out on the Google Play or the iTunes store. Mondays 6 to 8 on the Big Bad Radio app. Again, Tuesdays on WPEB, our regular time, 7 to 9. And then on Wednesdays, 7 to 9 p.m. on the Breaking Chains app, which is available through TuneIn app. Might sound a little confusing, but you follow me.
We're gonna post everything online.
Yeah, we have that online now, as a matter of fact. And we'll continue to post it right up until and beyond our start date, until you guys catch us on one of those nights. But again, thank you Thank you.
What group is this?
3 times dope.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Times.
That's the
It's
movement.
a 3
Is
times
that the
dope
movement?
type of party. Like,
Is that the movement?
it's a 3 times
It's a
dope.
3 times dope kind of thing. I love it.
Not dope to get you, not dope to take you down, but dope to bring you up. To bring you up.
Damn skip.
Dope for building,
Not destroy.
not destroying.
But if you choose to,
But some people
You have
use
that
dope
option.
the wrong way.
we do build and destroy. This is build and destroy.
That's right.
All positive. Remember, y'all, enjoy your week. Happy Labor Day, everybody.
Oh yes.
Enjoy your barbecue. Summer is winding down. I hate to say that.
Quickly. It's already getting darker early.
It is, man.
It's
But it's-
already.
it's-
Look,
Already.
it was
But
light.
that thing is
You
around
took
the
on a little bit
corner.
of that
That
stick.
Yeah.
thing is
You
around
feel
the
that?
corner.
You get your collar
That
like
thing
you
is around
start
the
pulling
corner.
your collar up. Say, think about the
Dave,
breeze.
Dave, you already know this is about to be sweater time, boot time.
That's right.
You know that's our
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
That's real. It's
absolutely.
our time of year.
Absolutely.
Let the horses run.
When you open that basement door
Yeah.
Yup.
in
Take the
October
trash out. That crisp air
for them
comes in.
Saturday
Yeah.
college games
Oh, yo,
with a
nothing
big
like
bowl
it.
of crunch
Nothing
berries
like it. Y'all better get me ready. Y'all better nothing like
with some
it.
sweats
Nothing
on.
like it.
That is the greatest
Nothing like it.
consolation. You lose some, but you gain all that.
Oh man,
You
Saturdays
gain
and
all
Sundays.
Well, my favorite time of year is October, November anyway.
Really?
I mean, that early
Yeah.
I'm a
fall.
spring baby.
Those
Yeah,
2 months
yeah.
when the leaves turn in and
Ah, that's the
Just
best.
the
The colors
crisp.
are the colors
Yeah.
in the Christmas is incredible.
Yeah.
the weather. The
It makes me
crispiness.
sad, but I love it at the same
I'm not
time.
a summer dude.
A Sunday,
I am
after,
a summer dude.
a Sunday before football, when it's sun and it's cool and the leaves on the ground, it's got to be the prettiest thing ever. When your game is getting come on, you get yourself ready. Nothing's better than that, yo. Nothing.
Nothing better.
Nothing.
Nothing better. So we thank y'all for checking us out. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. No matter what you do, you've always got to do one thing.
What is that?
Man, listen, you've got to build and destroy. Build and destroy.
And destroy.
And destroy.
Bill.
And destroy.
Build. Thank you, everybody. Happy Labor Day. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Remember, 3 times dope is the movement.
Word.
Ustream letting this thing roll a little bit longer because it sounds so good. 3 times dope is the movement. 3 times a week, Build and Destroy will be available. 3 different outlets. Big Bad Radio app. WPEB. Break and Change Radio available through the TuneIn app. Check us out starting September 12th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Details to follow on social media. You'll see pictures of us up promoting the 3 times dope movement. Coming at y'all. We're building.
The Patty Duke in the back.
That's right. Doing the Patty Duke dance in the back. We'll check y'all out, man. We'll check y'all out later. Peace. Thanks for following us. Build and Destroy.